I'm here with Ethan Lloyd with BTC Fiber. I got along with me Sergeant Bailey with the THP, and Katie Burns, host of Live Well and many other good projects for the community. I want to thank Citizens Tri-County Bank for partnering up with us on this to give away the hot dogs and the water. Thank everyone for joining around, and we're going to kick this off. Sergeant Bailey and Katie are going to host this whole thing. I think we're going to talk to Mike with WAT Radio right off the bat. Come on, join us, Mike.
Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
We're glad to be here. Thank you, Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative, for filming today. You guys will be able to catch the playback on Channel 18.
And YouTube, Valley TV's YouTube channel.
You got to like and follow that. A lot of good shows going on right now. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. How are you? Let's get this over you.
Walk on down on the step
You can
side.
talk. He's going to give us the stats.
Okay, before I do that, I want to thank THP for taking interest in our young people getting killed or injured, car crashes, not wearing a seatbelt, and talking on the phone and all that, which is what teenagers have a tendency to do. I know what it's like to get hit by a head-on drunk driver. I lost a brother about 34 years ago, and to this day it still hurts a lot about that thing. And you know, my brother Roger was actually a disc jockey at WAT for a couple of years, and you know, 22, that loss was awfully hard to take for everybody. So, but I don't want to be a downer, but you know, I think
No, but that's an important message to know that, you know, the pain that you suffered with the loss.
As they used to say, like the commercials used to have on TV, is that driving drunk is like kicking a sleeping bear, not the smart thing in the world to do.
Right. I mean, that's why you want to buckle up, and that's why you don't want to text and drive, is because it's not only about you, but it's about the other people on the road and their families.
You can call them back later. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, call back later.
Okay, let's get on with statistics. Now, this is the third oldest rivalry in Bledsoe County's quiver. The top two are Marion County and South Pittsburgh. However, this is the oldest continuous rivalry. This is the 37th meeting. They had a brief interruption in the early 1980s when split classifications. You know, Squatchies won 6 straight, and the average margin of victory in this series is about around 7 to 10 points. That's a pretty close.
That's a close game.
A couple of years ago, it was the only blowout they had a couple of years ago here in Dunlap. The first game was 1928. Bledsoe won that 50-0. And Squatchy, according to my figures, did not win a game until 1949. That's 21 years going, and that was 49-6. The largest margin of victory for in a game, Bledsoe in 1941, 72-0. In 2000, Squatchy won 55-0. So that, you know, that tells you. I mean, this, you know, you talk about South Pittsburgh, you talk about Marion County, you talk about all those other rivalries, and they certainly have their fans, and they have their traditions and all that. All right, thank you. But this is a sort of a friendly rivalry because everybody knows each other. They're married to each other, you know, that sort of thing. I had a sister I went to Squatch County for a few years. Well, I still don't know what's wrong with her, but you know. But you know, other than that. But anyway, I went to Bledsoe County High School. I remember these games quite well, and they're various things. I've been doing this for 20 years, play-by-play. And no two games are the same. They're all different.
Right. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about how you felt tonight was going to go. Do you feel like sharing that?
Well, you know, looking at it this way is that Bledsoe County and Squatch County have played two common opponents this year, and that is East Ridge. Bledsoe won that 14-13 in the second game of the season. Squatch County lost that last week, 22-6. Bledsoe is a better team this year. They were 1-3 last year. They're 3-1 this year. They lost only to Tyner, and really that was a second half effort by Tyner to get that win. Bledsoe has won over the defending state champ, which is unfortunately not doing have a very good season. 41-13. They won over East Ridge 14-13, and they went into a hostile environment. Colmont 2 weeks ago and won 14-12. Bledsoe's is playing awfully good defense. These past years, their defense has been awfully good. And our running game's been pretty good too. We haven't really made the killer mistakes that we have made in the past, and that's to you. Squatch County, on the other hand, has made a number of mistakes. I mean, it's cost them, and they've lost to South Pittsburgh, which is a really good team, and then, like I said, lost to East Ridge last week. But to be honest, this is going to be a close game. It always will be a close game. I'm going to be this. Bledsoe 21, Squatchy 17. So that's my pick. What's your pick? Come on.
Well, I live in Bledsoe County,
Okay,
but
well-
I am supposed to be impartial this evening. So I was told strictly to wear colors that would not represent either team. So tonight I am not allowed to pick.
Let's have the officer here. Let's put him on the
Let's
stand.
do that because you had some
stand
interesting
here.
thoughts too.
Unless
so-
he's wanting to take the fifth, just like you.
No, I think Red Bank will beat South Pittsburgh tonight. But I've seen Squatchy County play Hickson. That's where my son goes to school in junior high.
That was a half a game, I believe.
Yeah, it was half a game. It ended at half, and it was a back and forth game. And I know Squatchy's got a real fast running back. When he gets outside, he's gone. They got a real big fullback that can pound the ball up the middle. But I'll be honest with you, I think Bledsoe's going to pull this one out. To be honest with you, I think they do.
Tarver has used various types of formations. He's not stuck with just one or two. He's throwing everything in there. And I will tell you right now is that unless you're really ready for it, it's hard to tell what he'll do because he never runs more than 2 or 3 plays using this single type formation. He'll go shotgun, he'll go to under, he'll go to low snap, high snap, whatever. And defense, they sort of think Bledsoe really is a better team. And you got to look at it this way. This is a very important. It's not about region championships because they're different classifications. It's the stump. And how did that get the name the stump? I'll tell you this right now. The original trophy. This is not the original trophy. The original trophy was carved from a stump. Hence the name the stump. It was stolen and destroyed. I don't remember by who. But so they had a replacement, and this is a very beautiful trophy in the spirit stick. It's going to go back to Bledsoe tonight. I hate to do it to Squatchy County fans, but I think is that this is a stop. And I'll be honest right now, both coaches are good at the art of portermouthing.
Oh no, and you've got a whole line of young ladies right here with T-shirts that say "Beat Bledsoe."
I thought it says "Beat Squatchy." Is that right? No.
We're getting booed. We're getting booed. They're "Beat Bledsoe." I can't. So they're not thrilled with your news.
I'm sorry, ladies, but I hate to disappoint you. Beautiful band of very, very young ladies, but I'm a Bledsoe man. I know it's a terrible thing, it's Bledsoe's year. I'm sorry, it happens.
Oh no.
Life is cruel, but that's the way it is.
Sorry, it's getting tough here. It's getting tough.
So what kind of, with Bledsoe, what kind of injuries do they have on the team this year? Usually the third, fourth game, you start getting nagging injuries.
We've had a couple. One player got into a car crash today of the run the game. They kept him out because of concussion. Thank God he's all right. Another player was ejected supposedly for targeting. Now they feel that he does the way. I don't know what they feel that. But from what I'm looking at, he didn't target. He just fell over on the guy. That's from what I see. And I'm not going to mention the guy's name because I don't want to embarrass him. But Bledsoe's really has had some injuries, but they're not season-ending injuries. I think they probably have everybody back tonight. They had a week off, so they had the bye week, so they basically will be back.
Okay, Ethan, you popped in on here. Do you have some thoughts?
No, I've got a schedule. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much. We haven't got your prediction.
I'm going to go with Bledsoe tonight as well.
What's the score?
Oh, I'm not going to pick a score.
Not going to pick a score.
As always, hard hitting, and I would say moderate to low score.
Well, I would avoid those ladies over there when you walk out here. They may try to mob you. But anyway, thank you very much for having me on here tonight.
Thank you for being
We're
here.
going to have the broadcast live on WAT here tonight for those in Pikeville who are not able to make the game.
Okay.
That'll be our broadcast will be at 6:30 p.m. and the kickoff at 7 p.m. And me and Bradley Hardis will be here. And Bradley, we'll always be here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you very much. And thank
Absolutely.
you, Officer, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
And they keep the road safe. Thank you very much, everybody. Go Bledsoe!
Thank you, Mike. All right, I want to turn everybody's attention to the Squatchy County High School Band, and then coming up next, we'll have the managers from Citizens Tri-County Bank and Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative speak with a few words.
Charlie Boring. I'm general manager at Bledsoe Telephone, BTC Fiber. John and I, we have gotten together. This is our 5th year, John. We're doing this.
That's correct.
Yeah, did a great thing.
Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for having me back again.
Love it. Enjoyed having you here. You kind of fill in a lot of voids there. You help a lot out.
Well, you fill in a lot of voids in the community. Both of you guys do so much to support around town. Tell a little bit about all that you've done this year for our counties.
Yes, I'm John Barker, Citizens Tri-County Bank, and you know, we do a lot. Like we were just talking about the school wrestling team. There's 42 kids that come out this year. Last year they had close to 20, a little less than 20. They did sword bats and uniforms. You know, if kids are involved in the community, that's the best thing. So anything we can do to help support little things. I gotta give Charlie credit. He called me, I think it's about 5 years ago, and said, hey, you really get together and do a little tailgate going on. And it wasn't near this big. It was much smaller and all that stuff. Then John Horton or somebody got the highway patrol involved, so this turned into a bigger thing. And Mr. Bailey, so we appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you, and we appreciate the hot dogs. I appreciate those and those. So it seems like everything we've been to this year, we have been here with hot dogs, and we definitely appreciate that. So.
I think it brings people over.
It does.
Which draws a crowd. We've got a great crowd tonight here. Has everyone signed the seatbelt pledge? It's right over there. Good thumbs up. It's great. Spread the word because you get your prize. Anything that you'd like to add about things going on with Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative?
Well, of course, we're actively pursuing some state grants that will help in our service area to obtain broadband in some of these areas. They're actually going fiber to the home. We are 100% broadband to everywhere, but we're actually trying to build a fiber network to everyone that they'll have their own individual fiber and be able to get up speeds up to a gig.
Exciting.
It is.
I've learned so much by, helping you guys out about fiber and about speed.
Yeah, and that's just what everyone's looking for now in the future, be able to do homework from home. Used to when I did college, you actually had to go to the library. Now you do a research paper sitting on your couch in the living room. So, we're just trying to do things like that to help businesses get an edge in this small area.
Really appreciate that effort.
I'm right behind them. Because obviously our business depends on growth and people and all of that. And with fiber to the home, it's a lot of people that come in here and work from home. So people relocate here because of that. Because of homework and all of that. But when they have fiber at home, it's unbelievable how many people in today's society work from home.
Well, I'd like to add a lot to that too. Just it costs so much to be able to do it. We want to thank John and them for having some money to help us get along and do all this because it's quite expensive. So it goes hand in hand.
And that's what happens in small businesses. All businesses work together for the greater good.
For the best of the community.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we do. Me and John played football against each other. He was at Squatchy County and I was at Bledsoe.
But he's a lot older than me.
Oh no!
Well,
You didn't hear that. Cut.
But like you said, now you see us, and I consider us friends. We work good together, trying to help Bledsoe win.
Okay, so what are your predictions?
Bledsoe, a 14.
I gotta go Sequatchie by 14.
Okay. That's what they've been waiting to hear.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Caitlin and Nicole, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Class president. That's quite the honor.
Yeah, it is.
Did you just start this fall?
Class president?
Yes.
Well, I was actually class representative my freshman year, and then the past 3 years I've been class president.
Wow, 3 years? So you must be pretty popular.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, as class president. Yes?
Yeah.
Because they keep reelecting you.
Yeah, well, I know.
Yes, she is being shy.
Done.
Okay, so what would you like to say today to your classmates about driving? Because you probably see some things sometimes maybe that aren't exactly safe, and we don't have to call out any names. But what do you think is important for your classmates to focus on tonight?
put your phone down. That's the biggest thing. Don't pick up your phone when you're driving, and always wear your seatbelt. Those are my two biggest rules.
And I think it's important that you get that message out, or young people get that message out to their peers, because I can tell a young person, when I'm not in uniform, for example, and say, hey, don't do this, don't do that. They think it's just an older person, let's do it. But a lot of times they'll listen to somebody their own age better than they'll listen to me. So it's important that you call people out, with bad driving habits, and try to get them to do the right thing. And also, and for your younger sisters or brothers, do the right thing when you're driving. That way they learn from you.
Modeling.
Yeah, modeling.
Modeling the right behavior for parents to do that. And for the classmates, but it can be a hard discussion because you might be in the car with somebody and you hear the ding or whatever kind of funny sound they have for the text and they reach for it. Or they're changing the playlist on their phone or shuffling, or I've gotten a social media message. What do you say, or what do you think might be something good to say in that situation?
Normally, if I see someone about to go off their phone, I'm like, here, let me take that. Let me do it for you. Like, tell me what you want me to do. So, because I don't trust anyone with their phone in their hand and driving. Even if they were like, I got it. I'm like, no, let me do it, or we'll wait till later. So.
Yeah, let me do it for you. I'll text them.
I think you brought up a good point, that the difference between my age group and your age group is the iHeartRadio and Pandora and the playlist and all that, where it takes more longer to find that song that you want to listen to, whereas what we did is we pushed a button on the radio and whatever song was on there is what we had to listen to. And I think that's a culture change that my generation has a hard time understanding, that how much distraction that is.
I mean, it is, because looking for this certain song.
Right.
And you can probably find it, but you're searching for it.
Right. And even if it's on the playlist, it takes that extra couple of times to push the button to figure out where that song is. So.
Yeah, and I think also maybe some texting etiquette. You know how someone will text you and they keep texting you as if it's urgent? Like reply back when you think, there's kind of the culture that we will respond immediately.
Right.
But you can't do that when you're driving, and so you start to feel like, oh, I got to respond. They want to know. They want to know right now.
Right. And we encourage people, if you need to respond, or it's from your parents, for example, or a friend that really needs you, pull off the road, pull in a parking lot, get off the roadway, and you can do it safely instead of trying to type one letter at a time while you're driving down the road. And everybody's done it, but we just got to make ourselves not do it. And we've got to change our own culture and our own personality and say, hey, I'm better than that. I'm not good at that. And it's a hard thing to change. I think we discussed it last year at the football game. People are addicted to their phone. It's a hard thing to do. But sometimes we've got to break this cycle. I don't want to waste my time to break it, but we've got to get rid of it. We're killing too many people. Young people, old people, it doesn't matter. It's a society thing. It's not just a young person thing.
No, it's absolutely kind of a culture of having that phone next to you.
And you can even see that when you go to restaurants. I do. I pay attention to everybody that's sitting around me. You'll see a table of 4 people, and all of them are sitting there looking at their phone, or 3 of them are looking at the phone, the other one's just looking around. We used to see that. We used to see people interacting, and now they're interacting with their phone.
Something that we need to certainly be mindful of. And Kaylin, I'm glad that you're also promoting that message. I think it'll be really helpful. Anything else that you'd like to say to your classmates tonight?
Go Indians! 7 years. But even though we're on separate teams, we're all on the same team in the end when it comes to safety. So just buckle your seatbelts, put your phone down.
We can all definitely get behind team safety tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. for having me.
Hey, welcome back, guys. I'm sitting here in a slingshot. Sergeant Bailey, give us all the details about this vehicle.
Well, this is an auto cycle, and we'd like to bring this out to when people ask questions because they want to know when you got to wear a helmet, when you don't have to wear a helmet, what type of license do you have to drive these. And we've got information over the table that you can read up on. And basically is if this is enclosed, then you don't have to wear a helmet. And so we wear a helmet with this. And also this has seat belts. Now, do we actually go out and pull people over with this? No, we just use this as promotional for motorcycle safety. And it does have blue lights, it does have siren, and it looks like a Batmobile, that's what I call it. And it's pretty cool to drive, but we don't use it on active patrol. So other than that, your driver's license for something like this, you don't need an M endorsement, a motorcycle endorsement on it, you just need a regular driver's license.
How popular are these on the road?
Well, you'd have to ask the motorcycle person. I've seen several of them, and it's getting more and more that you see. But a lot of people like it because you've got a little bit more protection. You have roll bars in it, and then you have these roll bars on top in case you turn over. So they're getting a little bit more popular because one of the biggest problems we have with motorcycles is the people in cars don't see them or they don't pay attention for them. And so they end up pulling out in front of them or hitting them when they're coming by. This is a little bit bigger. We've got lights in the front, like 4 lights, so it's a little bit more visible. Even though it's lower down than like a car is, it's more visible, but it gives you the openness of a motorcycle.
Certainly very nice. I'm glad you brought it over here today. Thank you. Okay, we are here with the rollover simulator. You guys need to come over and sign the seatbelt pledge. There'll be a drawing later at halftime. You'll be entered to win a prize. $25 gas card, $50 meal ticket, and 2 tickets to your choice of a UTC game. There's 3 left. And we are standing here in front of the rollover simulator. We're going to watch what happens when one person wears their seatbelt and when the other person doesn't wear their seatbelt. Okay, both of them don't have their seatbelt on, and they're going to give it a go. You ready? Where's out? And the car hit him.
One thing we see a lot in real life, and we see it with the simulator too, whichever way the vehicle rolls is a way that people come out of the vehicle. So one or two things going to happen. Either you're going to come out completely out and then hit the ground and then your car's coming behind you, which is a possibility of running over you. Or you're going to get hung halfway out. If you get hung halfway out, then every time that car makes a revolution, then it's crushing. Okay? A lot of old folks like me, they think that the older cars are designed better and have more metal than the newer ones. And that's true. But the newer cars are designed to absorb impact. And so they move in on themselves and they protect you in the passenger and the driver compartment. So that's the reason we want you to stay in that compartment. The next thing is we want to make sure that anything that's inside that vehicle is tied down. Okay? If you have your family pet with you, they actually make pet seat belts now. So we want to make sure that that pet is buckled in. Also, if, like the football players here, the cheerleaders, they have equipment, basketball players, anything that's loose inside their book bags, even for students, that sometimes they weigh 40 to 60 pounds. If they're laying in that vehicle, if that vehicle rolls over, well, that's moving inside there and it could do damage to you. So we want to make sure that everything is tied down and put in the trunk of the car, or if you've got an SUV, in the very back of the SUV.
Yeah, that's something we don't really think about is that even if your passenger isn't buckled, they become a hazardous object in the car.
They can hit head to head, or the arm can fly up and hit you in the nose and break your nose. There's tons of things that can happen.
Because we're all driving around with our cars loaded down and full of stuff, and then it just is all in there and dangerous.
A lot of times, we don't think about what'll happen if we crash. We're going a mile down the road, 2 miles down the road. We jump in the car, we throw the kids in the car, and everything in the groceries or whatever inside that car. When you take off, you never think, what if this vehicle rolls over if we're in a crash?
Right, but you think what if because you have seen it so many times firsthand.
Yes, ma'am. We see it at Highway Patrol and a lot of your other emergency responders, that we see it all the time. And so it makes us think before we do it. If you look at all the patrol cars that are around here, Squatchy County patrol cars, Bledsoe County patrol cars, you'll notice everything inside that vehicle is tied down or has a place for ticket books and things where they doesn't move around inside that vehicle, because the first time we ever got in pursuit, we're going around a curve at 90 miles an hour and the ticket book's levitating. So we understand that, the laws of gravity, that those things are going to move around inside that vehicle.
Yeah, really, really helpful information. Okay, what else do we want to show?
Well, we have the DUI card.
All right, we're gonna move around, take a minute, and come right back. Hey, welcome back. We are over here next to the DUI taxi. Tell us a little bit about that, Sergeant Bailey.
Well, this is a half taxi cab and half patrol car. And what we do is try to kind of avoid the dangers of DUI and how much it costs. You can spend up, the first offense DUI, you can spend up 48 hours in jail, and you can spend up anywhere from, up to $10,000 if you hire a lawyer. And like I said, spend 48 hours in jail. Why not call an Uber? Why not, have a pre-designated driver? If you call an Uber or a taxi cab, it costs $50. As I'd say on the high end, $50, as opposed to $2,000 for bail and $10,000 for a lawyer. It only makes sense to drive safe and make sure you get home all right. Make sure everybody on the road's safe. And that's why this taxi's here, is to promote safe driving and not DUIs.
Absolutely, because what is it really worth to you? I mean, there's so many ways these days, like you said, with Uber, with taxi, and a heightened ability for communication, that you can avoid drunk driving.
And I know back, when I was in high school, we would go to college and we would go out and people would be drinking. And, we didn't have cell phones and we didn't have communications where we could call people and say, hey, come get us, and now, you can actually use an app on the phone and you can order an Uber and have them there to pick them up and take you anywhere you need to go. So it's a great idea, and it's great being in this age where we can do that. There's no reason for anybody to drink and drive.
Absolutely, and so you take this around to promote non-drinking and driving.
Yes, ma'am. We take it to schools. We'll take it to like UTC campus, for example. We'll leave it there. We've actually left it in welcome centers. Just to remind people. Just to give them that extra call that, hey, if you're going to be out drinking or you're at a big game like we are tonight and you are drinking, then don't drive.
Let's talk about this, Sergeant Bailey. Let's say, I've had a drink and I'm fine. You hear that a lot. I'm fine to drive. I'm fine. I'm okay. Look at me walk. I'll practice walking for you. How often do you see that, and are they right?
Well, no, they're not right. Usually when you think you're impaired or not impaired, usually you are. It takes about one beer and you start seeing a little bit of impairment. 2 beers, then you start getting a little bit more. Now, somebody big like me can probably drink more than somebody small like you. and not be as impaired. But typically, when you realize that you're impaired, it's too late. That you've already. Well, I'm okay, and I can drink 5 beers, I can drink 6 beers, and I'm okay, but that's not the case.
What if I just have a quick Red Bull?
Well, I don't know how Red Bull affects you,
But you're still legally, you're probably not going to pass that breathalyzer test.
no, you're probably not. And it's the breathalyzer test. It's not about what's in your mouth, as far as like alcohol in your mouth. It's what's in your down in your lungs, your lung breath.
It's such a serious topic, and you see it so often. We think we're okay. We've been drinking. It's in our system, and you can't quickly get rid of it. You can't just have a little bit of coffee and be like, I'm fine, just because you get a jolt of caffeine. It's still in your system. It's still going to affect your driving, and you're probably not going to pass that breathalyzer test.
You're not, and you see in the movies, and that's one of the problems with movies. They show you, oh, there's coffee in them. They'll be okay to drive, especially the older movies. But it's not that way. The only thing that's going to take care of the alcohol in your system is time. You have to, spend the time to get it out of your system. And one of the things we do, we give you field sobriety tasks to do, and one of the things we try to do is give a divided attention task. The more impaired you are, the harder it is to do more than one thing. And when you're driving a vehicle, you're looking what lane you're in, you're thinking about changing lanes, you're mashing the gas, you're trying to keep a constant speed, so you're doing more than you're basically multitasking while you're driving, even though we do it all the time and we're used to doing that. When you start getting impaired, then it's harder and harder to do that.
You want to be as awake and alert and as much of your natural self as possible, because things can change in a second. Okay, well, thank you for talking about this. I think we're ready to move on to our next guest.
Yes.
Okay, we are back. THP pregame show, Tailgating for Safety. I am with the athletic director, Jason Reel, with Bledsoe County. I'm sure that we can get a woo from back there. No? There! Okay, Jason, tell me a little bit about the mentorship program that the Highway Patrol has started with the athletes.
Okay. The Highway Patrol came in and they have opened their arms up, and they wanted to be a part of our sports program, not just football, their entire sports program. They've started with football. It's been an unbelievable partnership. They're showing up and they're not just watching, they're becoming a part of our program. They're bringing in different events for the kids and the coaches. They're doing their part to promote the safety of our kids when they're on the streets, but also they're promoting how to be a positive influence in the community.
But now, I know when I was playing ball, when I was in high school, back many moons ago, but usually like your football players and your athletes are more of the leaders in the school. Is that still that way in school, that like the football players are kind of leaders with the other rest of the student body?
Yes, that's always the case. I think in any school system you're in, your athletes, they're putting in extra time already. Then on top of that, you have those certain individuals who are those leaders on that team, and they are putting themselves out in this program, and they're working directly with the guys coming in, and they're making sure that they're not sitting back watching. They're trying to be an active participant in everything that the Highway Patrol is trying to do with the football team.
Well, I know, and with like younger players too, it automatically gives them a sense of belonging, being on that team, and also gives them kind of instant friends. I mean, they may not be best friends, but they have, bond with them. They see them every day at practice. They sweat with them. They try to make even if they're not a starter, they're trying to make the starters better. They win as a team, they lose as a team, and I think, even for the younger players that may not be those leaders, it's good for them to be part of that team that way.
Absolutely. Anytime you're dealing with a team, I think that you want the mentorship to happen. And our football team, that wasn't cool. Our football team, they have those leaders that have set themselves apart, and they're doing the things to make sure that no matter if you're one of the first 11 guys on the field or if you're not the first 11 guys on the field, that you're a part of what they're trying to accomplish.
And I know, like we yesterday we actually cooked out about 100 to 200 hamburgers and hot dogs for retired troopers. We had a party for them, the ones that are still alive, and it's important for us to know those troopers set the way for us now. Everything that we have because of those troopers. But it's the same way on the football field. We've got fans here and dads and moms, even their kids are going there now, but they set the way for the players now that are out there.
Exactly. That's what you want to happen on a football team or any team. You want the older guys to set the way for the younger guys and then them to continue that. You don't want it to happen one year and then it void for 2 or 3.
Right.
And I think that that's occurring with our football team, and I think that the Tennessee Highway Patrol is actually giving our leaders some leader to look at, and I think it's actually helping our older kids be a more positive influence on our younger guys.
Well, absolutely. Anytime you can build community and unity, you're going to play better.
Sure.
And also with the kind of united goal that we want to be safe on the field and safe off the field, because sometimes we feel adversarial against the highway patrol. Like, please just don't catch me. Just don't ticket me. I'm not texting and driving, but you're just trying to keep us safe.
And there's a lot of people, that's why they look at the highway patrol is they're just there to write tickets and or worker X. But we do a lot more than that. And a lot of people don't know that every school bus that's on the road, we do driver training for that school bus driver, and also we inspect that school bus at least once a year, every year. We have a crash response team, we have a stolen car team. I do safety education. I go to school with Lieutenant Harmon that does the mentorship with y'all. I mean, we do a whole lot more than just being in, out there
Being in the car.
Being in the car and writing the tickets. If we can pull somebody over and give them a warning, and we think that accomplishes our job, that's what we do. And a lot of people don't see that. So.
No, they don't see you out there spending all the time promoting safety and telling people to hang up, put your seatbelt on, and arrive alive.
Right. So, what do you think the keys to the game today are going to be?
Well, the keys of the game are the same keys to any game. Can't turn the ball over. The team that has the most turnovers is already behind, and so this game is one of the more electric games that obviously both schools play in. The records don't really matter. I mean, you're going to get the best of Sequatchie, the best of Bledsoe, and at the end of the game, you just hope that it's a hard fought by both sides, because that's what you want to see, and I think that's what we'll see tonight.
Thank you for joining us, Jason.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you, Tennessee Highway Patrol, for your partnership.
Thank you.
Okay, we are back with the Sequatchie County cheerleaders. How excited are you guys for tonight's game?
So excited!
Who's gonna win?
Sequatchie!
Woo! They are really pumped up. 7 years. Yes, they've been behind the scenes, behind the camera the entire night, cheering us and occasionally booing us when we mention Bledsoe. Some of us, not me, because I remained impartial, even though I live in Bledsoe County. Okay, guys, let's talk about buckle up for safety, no texting and driving, hanging up. Captains are on my left here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Channing Barker. I'm Lydia Schultz.
Avery Land. Emma Reimer.
Okay, and as the captains, what do you guys want to see from your team?
As a squad or as a safety?
Safety.
I want all of us to arrive and go home safely from our games and always buckle up as soon as we get in the car.
Do you think it's a problem? Do you think, I asked a poll on social media, I said, okay, Do you wear your seatbelt? I'm not calling your name, obviously. It's just my private social media. 100% of the time. And then I said, do you text and drive, or do you hang up? What do you think they said?
They probably said text and drive.
Yes, ma'am. They were guilty on that one. But the good news is that 100% did buckle up. Now, do you see out here some of your friends? Is it a problem? Seatbelt safety. Why do you think they don't wear their seatbelts?
I think they just forget, and they want to, like, if they're leaving school, they're ready to go home, so it's like not on their mind.
Yeah. But is the car not dinging? Ding, ding.
Yeah, I mean, mine does. Mine does.
Mine does too. It's
People just
yeah.
Yeah, turn up the radio.
I think they just some people can seem to ignore it, but you guys make a point not to ignore it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That's great to hear. Sergeant Bailey, what do you think is important for these young
I
ladies?
think it's very important, especially them being cheerleaders, that they remind their friends when they're in the car. They see them not putting the seatbelt on, and you say, "Hey, you mind putting your seatbelt on?" Because it's not only for their safety; it's for their own safety. If they're in the car with them, and the other person doesn't have the seatbelt on, then they could actually hurt them wearing the seatbelt. So it's important that they remind them. So you don't have to be ugly about it, or say, "Hey, put your seatbelt on," and I'm not riding with it. Just say, "Hey, do you mind putting your seatbelt on?"
Yeah. Sergeant, I think now is a really good time to share some of these stats
Yes.
on what we have going on in the county.
Well, and these are stats, year-to-date stats for 2019 compared to 2018. Right now, we are minus 4 fatalities, or plus 4 fatalities. We've had 4 more fatalities in our 13 counties as opposed to this time last year. We were up to about 12 early in the year, but we worked hard, and people started trying to do the right thing and try to get the message out about wearing your seatbelt, not distracted driving, and we've got that stat down. Statewide, we're not doing so well. But in Squatchy County, we're exactly dead even. So Squatchy is holding their own.
But does that mean we've had some fatalities in Squatchy?
We've had 5 fatalities, but we had 5 fatalities last year. Even if you have 1 fatality, that's too many.
Absolutely.
Our goal is 0 fatalities every day. We'll come out to work and not have to work a fatality. Bledsoe County, they're doing pretty good too. They actually have less fatalities than Squatchy, but they are +1 in the category of fatalities. So the big alarming stat that we have is on the other page that shows that about 227 people in the state of Tennessee was not wearing their seatbelt out of 560 fatalities we got in the state. And that's about 43%. That's just too many.
43% people not wearing their seatbelts.
Right. And if you take that 250 people that if all of them were wearing a seatbelt, at least half of them would have survived. And so we would have 125 people walking around the state of Tennessee that's not here today with us.
I mean, people don't really talk about that, and that you matter. We've got one more guest coming on, but you have to remember that you matter, your family matters, and your classmates matter, because of how it affects the student body. If one life is, permanently injured, you might not always die.
Right. It's just it's a wake-up call, and a lot of people. And I see it in a lot of younger drivers now that they're afraid to drive a lot of times, as opposed to, we couldn't wait to get out and start driving. Of course, we didn't have cell phones either, so, so yeah, you're right. I mean, it does affect, if we have a fatality in a student or even a parent dies in a car crash, it affects a lot of people. Not just you, and not just your immediate family, but a lot of your friends too.
Anybody get nervous sometimes getting behind the car wheel?
Yes.
Yeah. And especially hearing these statistics, even with our DUI, knowing that sometimes, you could encounter somebody that's been drinking and driving and worried about your own safety, even if you haven't been drinking and driving. Let me introduce our guest right here. Hello.
Hello, how are you all?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm Amy Land. I'm the coach of the Sequatchie County High School cheerleaders. And I just wanted to thank you guys for being here tonight. This has been an amazing atmosphere that you have created. Most importantly, what you're here for. And just talking about safety and encouraging students and adults to wear their seatbelts and be careful when they're on the road. And definitely our goal is to arrive alive.
Arrive alive.
We just want to, I thank you. I appreciate everything you've done. It's a huge game tonight. We've got a lot of excitement in the air, but you guys have helped to build it even further than what we had before. So we're glad you're here. Thank you for doing that.
Well, I'm so glad these young ladies have hung out with us this entire time. They've definitely been a part and seen what can happen when you don't buckle your seatbelt.
I just want to know how you get so much energy in them as a coach. Because they've been full of energy the whole time they've been over behind the camera. So
The big game. They're excited.
Well, thank you for helping us share this message. We really appreciate it. Arrive alive. Make sure you buckle up. You have one more.
Even though Blessing's over here and Sequatchie's over here, we're all on the same team when it comes to buckling up.
Yes, ma'am. The same team. Thank you, guys. Can we get like a buckle up cheer? Buckle up.
Buckle up for safety, buckle up for safety, buckle up for safety, buckle up for safety.
Arrive alive. Thank you, guys.
thank you.
If you're driving and
They're
they're not
delightful.
watching you,
Oh, yeah, they were. And it seemed like they had a good head on their shoulders too, about and realistic about driving and wearing a seatbelt, and I really enjoy meeting young people like that.
Well, I get nervous when I'm riding in the car with somebody and they pick up their phone. It bothers me. I still have to correct people when I'm in the car with them. Or honestly, one thing that I see a lot is I'm driving and I am watching the other cars because I am so used to them swerving, and I know they're on their phone.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be that I just, maybe you had somebody fall asleep at the wheel and they'd be super drifty, but now it seems like everybody is crossing that yellow line. I mean, it just seems to be common, kind of going back and forth. I'm like, what are they doing? They're on their phone.
And we see that with highway patrol too, where used to, if somebody's swerving back and forth, well, maybe they're drunk or maybe they are falling asleep.
Yeah.
But now you cannot tell the difference between somebody texting and driving or distracted driving and DUI. You cannot tell the difference in them. And matter of fact, it's probably more dangerous to be texting and driving than it is drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Because you have less ability of focusing on the road.
You're at least, if you've been drinking, driving, you're probably trying really hard to focus, even though you're inebriated.
Of course, either one of them is not any good. But
neither is good, but even with texting, I think that you just think you're capable.
Right, you do.
And you're not.
Right, and I'll look at the billboards and around. I drive all over the southeast, and one of the billboards that really gets my attention is it's a van turning upside down, fixing to flip. It's just been in a car wreck, and it says it's too late now to buckle your seatbelt, or too late now to not drink and drive, or not be distracted. At that point it's too late. And it's like you said, you have to you get nervous when somebody's on the phone or you try to correct them. Well, I try to correct myself. I know Tennessee is hands-free now, and I still want to pick that phone up, and put it up to my ear, and I catch myself when I put it back down. And of course I go with Bluetooth now. Even though my car has a Bluetooth, I still have a little thing goes in my ear for Bluetooth because I get in different type of cars all the time. So
talk a little bit about the hands-free, because maybe everybody hadn't heard.
Well, one of the biggest things that I see, or when we stop people, is when they come to red lights. A lot of times they'll pull out their phone and start texting and driving, because under the old law, you could have that phone in your hand just because you wouldn't move it.
Right.
Now with the new law, you actually have to be in the parking lot, off the roadway. You can't be at a red light texting and driving.
Well, also, sometimes the light turns green and people are still sitting there.
Yeah, they still sit there and
You get mad, you
or
speed.
they start pulling off and they're still texting and driving also.
Right now, we have the school officer
Resource
coming
officer.
on. Resource officer. Thank you.
How you doing?
Doing great.
Thanks for joining us. What's your name?
Chris Dennis.
Hi, Chris. Katie Burns.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Tell us your message this evening. What do you see? What do you think is important for everybody to hear?
Looks like I kind of teach all year long. Been here a couple years now, working with these kids. When I go in and talk to our DUI, our driver's ed class, we talk about the drinking and driving, buckling up, a lot of those laws. Then we, just continuation of the hands-free that's going on. That's something I am really proud of right now with our kids. I think since since that law has started, I may have seen 2 of my high school students that I've had to stop and talk to.
But I mean, that's a big change. Just 2?
It's just this year, yeah. It's been great. So.
What do you think is the main thing that really resonates? What's the message that seems to hit them the most about putting that phone down?
Just the safety. I mean, being able to show someone, I always try to show videos. They relate to a lot of that. We can talk to them all day, but I try to show some videos of some accidents that just accidents that happen because a child or a young student is on the phone, and we have lost a few students here prior to through this law, so we can go back and refer to them. They may not have that phone in their hand, and may still be with us today.
And I know that's a thing that, especially with young people, that it can't never happen to me. And with having those other students that it has happened to, it shows them that it can happen to you. And it's a hard loss for somebody this age to lose somebody that's close to them. And I don't know. I mean, you said you had to deal with that. How does that affect the students?
I think it affects, like all of us, it affects us, each individual different. Some handle it a little different than others. But when I see that, I'll have a group maybe come talk to me, 4 or 5 at a time. They just want to talk about it, and we'll talk, discuss things. And then others, will come in. We try to tell them not to do it. We try to not tell them not to do it. And they feel guilty because they didn't feel like they did enough.
Didn't try enough. And I'm the same way. I have a good friend of mine that died in a motorcycle wreck. And I tried to get him to get rid of the motorcycles, and I got a friend of mine tried to get him to get rid of it. And we never could talk, but you always think, well, I didn't do enough, and I could have done more, or I should have been, reminded him even more about motorcycle safety. So
it's extremely painful, and I think when you live in a small town, not only does it affect your school and your school community, but the entire town is grieving the loss.
Absolutely. I know this is a big rivalry game tonight, but if one of our students was injured or anything like that, I know this all would be one of the first counties to step up to help us any way they could. Just down the street, we got Webb and Marion. I mean, we may be rivalries in the game and sports, but when it comes to the fact that we are one county when it comes to this type of situation. We're all of our SROs that they got, we communicate.
Well, and I see that, I live in Chattanooga, but I see that with a lot of the teams, it's the Valley. And the Valley sticks together. When it's all said and done, you might fight between yourself, but you don't, nobody else come outside and jump on somebody in the valley. So I see that quite often.
Like I said, I just want to say thank you to Tennessee State Troopers for being here today. Lieutenant Harmon for helping us out this week as well. We have a lot of officers coming in a lot of times in the mornings down here when I'm doing traffic. They'll set up and help me out down there, kind of slow some people down. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for what y'all do. The turnout's been great. We've loved it.
Who's going to win the game now?
Wait till the end of the clock here.
He's a little nervous.
Yeah, a little nervous. This is a big rivalry. You
Well,
never know where this one's going.
But honestly, because it's this kind of rivalry, anything can happen. Because you've got so much energy and everybody is keyed up tonight that you could pull off an upset and go against what people are predicting. Around, we have a pledge. I pledge to wear my seatbelt every trip, every time, and there'll be a drawing at halftime, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gas card, $50 meal, and 2 free tickets to your choice of a UTC game. And we have a handout with those games that are left, and you'll be able to choose. So come on over, right next to the simulator. There's some fine gentlemen. He's waving his hand right now. And he's got the black tablecloth. Go over there, just sign your name, super easy, that I pledge to wear my seatbelt every trip, every time. And that also applies to people in the back of a truck. Where are we on the laws on that?
Well, I don't think we do enough on the laws on that, but...
we hadn't talked about that at all, but we still see it. People in the back of a truck.
People in the back of the truck. It's never a good idea, a rule of thumb, to have anybody in the back of the truck because there's no seatbelts in there, but the way the law is written is kids under age 12 cannot be in the back of the pickup truck. Anybody else above age 12 can.
What about going down a back road in a side-by-side? No seatbelt. What are my rules?
Side by side.
Yeah, like a 4-wheel vehicle that's off-road.
Okay.
Usually you don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, if it's off-road, then you shouldn't be on the roadway. But now we do have...
What about a 4-wheeler? They don't have seatbelts.
Yeah, we do have a lot of Razors on the road, but the Razors do have seatbelts. Yeah, but they shouldn't be on the roadway.
Oh, they shouldn't even be on the road.
No. If it's not equipped with seatbelts and roadworthy, then it shouldn't be on the road.
Shouldn't be on the road. So all those 4-wheelers on the back roads, you think you're okay? Zooming down? Nope. They're looking for you. We're moving on. We're ready for our next guest.
Come on in. This is Captain Travis Plotcher. He joined us out of Nashville today.
Oh, that's where I'm from.
And he has been newly promoted to captain over special programs across the whole state. So he's like the director over that. And of course, there's more job duties and special programs, and I'll kind of let him tell you what all he does.
Thanks for having me. Again, I'm Travis. I come out of the Nashville office working special programs. What an honor to be here where everybody comes together. Yes, there's some friendly rivalry going on, but everybody's here for a common goal. Everybody goes home safe. And that means a lot. So everybody, y'all doing an excellent job on the Lieutenant Harmon, and that means a lot to see everybody come together. There's some friendly competition going on, but to see everybody wanting to see their teammate and their fellow competitor go home safe one night, that means a lot. That does. Y'all doing an excellent job out there.
Well, I know we talked earlier about different jobs that the Highway Patrol does. Under you, what kind of other responsibilities does the Highway Patrol have?
Obviously, right now you see the safety education aspect. That's what we're doing here with the pupil transportation section. It makes sure the students, our precious cargo, our tomorrow's future, gets to and from school safe. Make sure the vehicle's mechanically sound, but we also take care of educating the driver. And then we have our commercial vehicle section. That's what keeps America moving, is the commercial industry on the roadways, and we do our part to make sure they're safe, both mechanically, the drivers make sure they're fit for duty, but also there's another educational component there too. We do that. And also, we obviously have our driving schools that we encompass too. Folks learn to get your license, and those folks that need a little extra help in learning additional rules of the road where they've had problems speeding, driving unsafe, that's another aspect. It's mandated. Well, there's schools that they need a little extra remedial help. That's what we're here for, to provide an educational component to that.
Well, and you know, we went over some of the stats, and I know you look at the stats every day. We have them sent out. Do you see any difference about distracted driving or drinking and driving in Memphis as opposed to Chattanooga? Do you see any difference, or are we basically the same tendency in the same boat?
You know, you see, it's a direct reflection. Obviously, population density, I think, plays a part in that. One of the things I see, though, with these numbers, we look at the numbers now. You know, we see they're on the rise and stuff like that. One of the things I see about the numbers really take an impersonal approach to it. Those are lives lost, families affected. That's an empty seat, like that empty chair over yonder, at a supper table. So I look at them all the same, whether it's a high number or a low number. I know come the holiday season, that's a seat that's not going to be filled where it means a lot. Right. And that's why we take Sergeant Bailey and Harmon, this whole team out here, they take their approach very personal what they do, and they have a lot of buy-in. Whether it's a unique approach as far as using this taxi or the razor or the rollover, whatever approach we have out here, they're all about making it happen, and I appreciate what you all do.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, you know, our goal when we come to work is 0 fatalities for that day. You know, and I know that's been around with Highway Patrol for several years, starting with the other colonel that we had. But you know, I really look at it that way. That you know, if we can go home that day with no fatalities in our area and no fatalities in state, then you know, I think we've done our job.
I agree. Thank you all for what you're doing. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming on. I mean, I love promoting this message. It's very important and something, you know, really simple that you can do to make a huge impact. Buckling your seatbelt is simple.
It is. Buckle a seatbelt, put the phone down. That's some amazing things you can do. Thank you all.
And it doesn't take very long to do it. So,
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It just takes a second.
It does, and a lot of putting the seatbelt on and even safe driving, it's just habit. You know, if you get used to putting that seatbelt on, and as a parent you teach your child to put that seatbelt on, you know, my kids now, when they get in a car, they actually get the seatbelt on faster than I do. So, you know, that tells me it's just second nature to them to put that seatbelt on. I don't have to remind them. I don't have to tell them to put that seatbelt on. And a lot of times, you know, I'm a lot slower, and that's you know, they call me Big Papa. They said, put the seatbelt on, Big Papa, you know, get it on. And they're waiting on me to put the seatbelt on, so.
Well, you know, Sergeant Bailey, I'm getting to the point with my child where she can unbuckle herself, and I'm driving down the road. Right. She gets in huge trouble, by the way. But I mean, I have to pull over. But you've got, you know, trying to instill that in them even when they're young, because they start, let me just punch the button. This is fun. I'm an annoying mom.
You know, and that's the thing. And you know, we talk about distracted driving. Well, those kids in the back seat unbuckling, or like me and my sister used to fight all the time, you know, that can be a distraction to that driver too. So again, what you said, pulling over to the side of the road and taking care of the problem is a smart thing to do, instead of trying to turn around and take care of the problem.
Yeah, and that's why I don't even want to look at my phone, because that in the back seat is distraction enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
And I'm carrying precious cargo, as are so many of our viewers. It's not often just one person in the car.
But I agree with you 100%. Looks like we got another guest here.
Ready?
This is Trooper Johnny Anderson, and Johnny Anderson is in our People Transportation Division, which we discussed earlier about inspect school bus. But he's also from Bledsoe County, and he was a big basketball star at Bledsoe County. According to the teachers who's still there, he was a big basketball star. So I haven't actually got proof of that yet, but he also has a daughter. Daughter still goes to.
Daughter, she graduated last year.
I've got a son. It was on our program last year.
She was on the program.
But you still have 3 other kids in the Bledsoe school system.
Correct.
What ages are they?
I've got a son that's a freshman now, then I've got a 5th grader and a 1st grader.
First grader.
We're in it for a while.
You're still around.
We're going to get good use out of our blue.
Yeah. Now, do your kids? We were talking about distracted. The kids being distraction. Do your kids ever fight in the back seat, or I imagine you guys, you got a minivan, they're probably about a mile back there.
They're probably back there fighting behind us right now.
Oh.
Sweet angels that they are. They never take off their seatbelt, I'm sure.
They're all red-headed, I'll tell you that.
Oh, they are. Oh my. That
So,
could be dangerous.
can you tell me a little bit about pupil transportation and what y'all do?
Well, what we do, of course, pupil transportation, we're in the business of making sure the students are transported safely. We inspect the school buses. They'll all get inspected at least once a year. Also, we go through and do random spot checks on the buses to make sure everything's being kept up throughout the year. And we also provide a 4-hour in-service class to all bus drivers to keep their escorts.
You know, she said I live behind Bledsoe County helmet, so.
I noticed that.
Even though he's a Sequatchie County alumni.
Yeah. Well, he's Team Bledsoe now.
He is.
Well, I felt like the camera looked better with an officer on each side.
Okay.
Of course, I am.
Hey, I'm in good company. We have to tell everybody who you are, Lieutenant Harmon. You have worked so hard to put this together.
Well, it's a team effort. Just like the football team and the basketball team and the baseball team. It's a team effort with the Bledsoe County Telephone Cooperative and Channel 18 and Citizens Bank. We are really excited about what we started last year. I really think we're getting better every time. And the excitement here tonight, it was just unbelievable.
I think people are starting to catch on that we're tailgating for safety. And that we are here trying to educate and promote and remind people to buckle up, hang up, pay attention, and don't drink and drive.
Yes, and I'm telling you, the atmosphere here tonight, the rivalry between Bledsoe and Sequatchie County, and the participation that we got out of the community tonight, signing our pledge, and just hanging around and the band, and it was that college atmosphere tonight.
This is the game to be at.
It is. Those Friday night lights. Everybody knows what those Friday night lights are.
It's small, and there's nothing like it. And sometimes people miss out on it, but in a small town, a small community, sometimes, like you said, our last guest, he, grew up in Sequatchie County, but now, all his kids go to Bledsoe, and so there's a lot of history there.
Well, like I say, I'm still Sequatchie County through and through, but I am trying to help Bledsoe County out. We're trying to mentor those kids up there to wear those seat belts and make good leaders. And we want Sequatchie County High School, we want all those kids everywhere, whether it be a rural community or an urban community, for those kids to get some good leadership skills and start out by wearing them seat belts.
Yeah, you've been in there face to face with the football players.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What did you see from a professional standpoint, and also their commitment to trying to drive safer?
I can tell you, I put them through a challenge, and I asked them to tell me what leadership meant to them, and what the definition of leadership was. And I can tell you that I am so proud of those kids. The things that they told me, that they're holding me to a standard. And I used that against them, and I said, this is what you told me. Now I want you to live up to those standards. And I tell you, being honest, I graduated in 1982. The first 4-year graduating class out of Sequatchie County High School right here. Started graduating in 82. 4-year class right here. I can tell you those kids are so far advanced than we were when we graduated. It's remarkable. But we're really doing good. But I want to thank you for hosting, and Sergeant Bailey up here. He's good to this. He's real good, and he knows all that football stuff.
Well, thank you so much. It's been an honor to be back again. I love supporting you guys. This message is very important, and I think it's something that everybody can certainly do. Very easy.
And I do have some other guys here. I had a captain come out of Nashville today. Drove all the way to Nashville to see what we are actually doing in the Chattanooga district. I also had my troopers. I've got some other troopers that were working here today. Trooper Buck Jones, he's out of Meigs County, that drove all the way over here to help us. Trooper Cecil Harvey, he actually works for myself and the sergeant. Chuck Milhorn, he's a school bus trooper, and we're out there in the crowd working hard today.
they helped me put all this stuff together. And of course, Trooper Anderson. Unfortunately, he had to say he was, he was
from Squatch.
Yes, and we had a road trooper from Squatch County. Sadell Milkovich. He actually lives in Chattanooga, works over here. Of course, I know Trooper Anderson was really rubbing on this blue helmet over here. But again, we want to thank Bledsoe County Cooperative, their TV-18 for allowing the Tennessee Highway Patrol to put this tailgating for safety pre-game show on 2 years in a row.
Yeah, because you guys will be able to watch this. You'll be able to show it to your family members at home, promoting this message. Channel 18.
Last words. Arrive alive.
Arrive alive. Everybody going home tonight? Buckle up. Put your phone down. Don't be texting who won or talking about anything of that. Just wait till you get to your destination to start talking again. Sergeant Bailey?
I just want to thank you for co-hosting. You do a wonderful job. You make it easy, and thank you for getting our message out too. And again, the telephone co-op, Bledsoe County telephone co-op, and the Citizens Bank for giving the hot dogs. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. THP, pregame show, tailgating for safety. Now we're going to go watch some football. Bye, guys.